Good morning, my dear students. Today I am here to tell you about other phylum in the animal kingdom. Previously, we have studied about the phylum of invertebrates. So many were there: mollusca, and platyhelminthes, porifera. All these we have studied. So today I will be telling you about other two invertebrates. So invertebrates and vertebrates we have discussed. Invertebrates means those type of organism which is not having an endoskeleton, means there is no presence of skeleton system in their body. Now see, arthropoda. This is the another phylum which we have to study today. The word arthropoda comes from two words. Arthros means jointed and poda means feet. Okay, so these organisms which are present in this phylum, they are having a jointed feet. Okay, see here, at the same time the head, thorax, abdomen, these three will be present. The body can be categorized into three parts: head, thorax, abdomen. Just like we are having, this part is the head, thorax is this region, thoracic cavity, and rest all parts are abdomen. In the same way, they are also having head, thorax, abdomen. Then they are having body covered with exoskeleton. Means exoskeleton is the hard outer covering which is protecting the body of arthropoda. Okay, next we can see the appendages with the joints. Simply, as I have told, arthros means jointed. Appendages means that type of body parts which are coming out of the body, just like we have forelimbs and hind limbs, legs, hands. In the same way, they are also having appendages which are joined to the body. That is the main characteristic. As I have already told about arthropoda, this is the main characteristic: appendages with joints. Example, you can see scorpion is there. Okay, then earthworm are there. So these all are arthropoda. Okay, cockroaches are there. Most common example, mosquitoes are there. So arthropoda, they are having jointed legs, and it is the phylum which has the maximum number of organisms present. So maximum number of organisms are present in this group, arthropoda, if we will compare with other phylum. Next is your echinodermata. Echinodermata means it is also taken from two words. Echinos means hog-like structure, hedge-like structure, hedgehog means just like you have seen in case of pig, the structures just like a hedge. Okay, so hedge-like structure will be there on the skin. Derm means skin. So on the skin of this organism, they will have the hedge-like structures. They will be totally marine. Either they will be star-shaped or ball-shaped organism. Then you see, for the locomotion, here one particular organ is present, that is known as tube feet. Tube feet is the special organ present only in echinodermata for the movement or locomotion. You can say for the locomotion, tube feet is responsible. Example, you see starfish. The most common example is starfish. Okay, this is about echinodermata. So till here there are all are invertebrates, means endoskeleton will not be present. But now we have to deal with the vertebrates. So vertebrate means skeleton will be present inside their body. In the simple ways you can tell that if any invertebrate is dying or if it is dead, then after some time you will not get anything from their body. But in case of vertebrates, you will get the bones. Just like fish is there, the bones are there. Okay, humans are there. If somebody is burrowing inside the soil, after some time you will not find the skin, but you will find the bones. That is the speciality of vertebrates. So the first vertebrate is Pisces. Pisces refers to the fish. All the different types of fish come in this phylum. So you see, they will have streamlined body. First and foremost, streamlined body you have studied in class 6. So in case of streamlined body, what is happening? There it will be broad in the middle and tapering at the end. So you see here, just like this. You see here. So if you will compare this region with these two regions, you will see that this region is broader. That broader shape refers to the streamlined body, and this helps in swimming to cut the water when they are moving forward. This type of body helps to cut off the water current when they are moving forward. There are scales present. Scales will be present all over their bodies. Breathing takes place with the help of gills. Then fins are helping in swimming. Then they have cold-blooded, the most important thing, cold-blooded. So here I will tell you about about the cold and warm-blooded. So cold-blooded means that type of organism which can adjust, which cannot adjust their body temperature according to environment. Means in case of fish or any other organism, cold-blooded organism, what happens? With the change in temperature of the outside environment, their body temperature will vary. Means if their body temperature is outside temperature is more, their body temperature will also become more. And if their outside temperature is less, their body temperature will be less. So cold-blooded means they can adjust their body temperature according to the environment. This is called cold-blooded. Example is rohu, hilsa, katla. Then all these are example of pomfret. They all are fishes. They all are fish. Next is amphibian. This word is also coming from two words. Amphi means both. So they can live both on land and in water. On the land, if they are present, if they are living, they breathe through their lungs, but when they are in water, they breathe through their moist skin. Okay, this is the difference. They lay their eggs in water only. So the amphibians lay their eggs in water. They are also cold-blooded, just like the fishes. Means they can change their body temperature according to the environment. That is their speciality. Example is frog, toad. These are amphibians. Okay. Next we see reptiles, the most common species. They will have dry and scaly skin. Previously in amphibians we have seen their skin are moist, but here you see they are dry and their skin are scaly also. They breathe through their lungs. They will lay their eggs, okay, on the land only. They are cold-blooded. Example are lizard, snake. You might have observed that during the winter season, you will not see any snake. You will not see any lizard. The reason is outside temperature is very high, okay, and they cannot change their body temperature according to environment. This is cold-blooded. Previously I think I have told wrong, so you correct now. Cold-blooded means they cannot change their body temperature according to environment. Okay, means when the outside temperature is less they cannot change their body temperature. That's why they go inside the soil. The snakes I'm talking. And the lizards will be there, they also go to some warm places, just like beside the UPS. Okay, the mercury are there also it can go beyond CFLs. Okay, so they are cold blooded. They cannot change their body temperature according to environment. Okay. The next is your apes. Apes means all the birds. They are also having a streamlined body, and the body will be covered with feathers here. Previously we have seen the body was covered with scaly skin, but here the body will be covered with feathers. They have modified forelimbs, so their forelimbs are modified into wings. Okay, wings are nothing but their forelimbs only. They lay their eggs. They can lay their eggs also. They are warm blooded. Means they can adjust their body temperature according to environment. Means whatever the environment will be there, their body temperature will be constant. This is the meaning. Warm blooded means whatever the temperature outside may be, their body temperature will be constant. This is warm blooded. But in case of cold blooded, the temperature varies according to the outside environment. Example, pigeon, parrot are there. It is the example. Then last is your mammalia, the most common species. Body is covered with hair. Previously we have seen in reptiles the body was covered with scaly skin. In case of apes the body was covered with feathers. But here in case of mammals the body is covered with hairs. The most important one, the females of the Mammalia kingdom or the females of the Mammalia phylum, they will have mammary glands to nourish their young ones. Means the milk producing glands will be present in case of females of Mammalia phylum to nourish their young ones. Then breathing will take place through the lungs, and they are also warm blooded, just like we are having. Example, you see cow, sheep, human beings. So they will be warm blooded, means whatever the temperature outside may be, our body temperature will be constant, 37 degrees centigrade, which is the temperature of human body. Okay, so they will be warm blooded. Cow, sheep, etc. will be example. So overall we have seen the vertebrates and the invertebrates. These two are mainly the organism present on this earth. And among the vertebrates, so many are there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 we have studied. In case of invertebrates also, we have studied about 8 or 9. So overall we can say that R.H. Whittaker, whatever he has classified the groups, the organism into different phylum according to the similarities and differences, the similarity and differences, they are most suitable for their survival or existence on this earth. The body conditions are responsible for their survival on this earth. So, thus we complete this chapter here only. If you will have any type of queries, questions, we can discuss in the class. Okay? Till then, take care of yourself and read properly. Thank you.